All right, you may be familiar with the famous philosopher Rene Descartes, and if you're not, you're almost certainly familiar with his famous claim, I think, therefore I am. And we're going to look much closer at Rene Descartes here in a couple of weeks and really get into some of his thinking and his arguments. Here, I just wanted to really quickly show you how he too used the principle of the non-identity of discernibles 600 years ago to come to the conclusion that the mind and the body are distinctly different things. And two things are important here. One, he wouldn't have known this by the principle of the non-identity of discernibles. He wouldn't have called it that. And second, when we're having this conversation about mind versus body, by body we really mean brain. Okay, we mean the entire body, but in particular, we have to remember that the brain is a part of the body. So if we're going to make the argument that the mind is separate from the body, what we're really doing is we're saying the mind is separate from the brain, as well as all of the rest of the body. So here's what Descartes did. He used doubt, as he used it for a lot of reasons, and or for a lot of purposes. And one purpose was to distinguish between the body and the mind. And this is how it starts out. He says, I can doubt my body exists. And you're thinking to yourself, dude, how do you doubt your body exists? It's like right here. You can see it. You can taste it. You can pound your fist on the table and know that you're doing this with your body. And Descartes says, well, not so fast. Sometimes I have dreams. And in these dreams, I think I'm walking down the street. I think I'm playing a pinball machine. I feel pain. And when I'm dreaming, I really believe that this body that I have is actually having these experiences. But then I wake up and I realize, no, that actually wasn't my body. I still existed in that dream. I had the dream, but my body wasn't in it in the way that I thought it was. You and I might find ourselves more thinking along the lines of the Matrix. You get plugged into the Matrix. If you haven't seen the Matrix, by the way, you need to go watch that. You get plugged into the Matrix, and then suddenly you're in this simulated environment. If you don't know you're plugged into the Matrix, you think that the body that you have in the simulated environment is actually a real body, but it's not. So I can think of lots of ways to doubt that my body exists, Descartes says, but I can't doubt that my mind exists. Descartes says it is absolutely impossible to doubt that your mind exists. Can you think about why that is? Well, think about it. To doubt is a mental activity. To doubt requires a doubter. It requires some sort of a thinking thing. So I can doubt that my entire body exists by thinking about the scenario of being in a dream. But Descartes says, I can't doubt that my mind exists because the moment I start engaging in the doubting, I'm existing. But I'm not existing as a body, okay? And so Descartes says, if two things don't have exactly identical properties, they're not the same thing. Therefore, the mind and the body are not identical, all right? So that's how Descartes used this principle to, again, try to recover this idea that I exist not just as a physical thing, but as a non-physical thing as well.